When you look at Sonic in the video game canon, you realize that he has a crap ton of transformations. They can range from turning into a werewolf to turning into a literal musical note. But which transformation is more powerful than all the others? Well, disregarding the other obscure forms, it comes in a hierarchy. Base Sonic turns into Supersonic, and Supersonic turns into Hypersonic. But Groovy, why would you assume that Hypersonic is the most powerful for Game Sonic? Well, it's simple arithmetic. Supersonic is the most recurring Sonic transformation in the games, so that means we get to see more feats from him. When compared to all the others, Supersonic is in a league of his own. He's several times faster than light, he can control time and space, he has enough power to destroy multiple universes, he can neutralize any being with negative energy, and he's virtually invulnerable. All this makes Supersonic seem like the most powerful transformation, right? Well, feats-wise that may be the case, and that goes for every rendition of Supersonic. But it's been stated that he has a transformation even greater than this golden form of his. And that transformation is called Hypersonic. Hypersonic has only appeared once in the game franchise, so he lacks feats to prove himself. But him being a higher transformation from Supersonic already makes him the greatest. This is thanks to the Super Emeralds, which are Chaos Emeralds transformed into bigger and more powerful versions of themselves. So, that must mean that Hypersonic is potentially the greatest form, right? I made a poll the other day to see which form you all believe to be the most powerful, and y'all chose Hypersonic. And that is actually both correct and incorrect. Here's the thing. Hypersonic is not just the greatest form in the games, it has the potential to be the greatest form out of all the Sonic continuities. And I'm not talking about game Hypersonic because the truth is that Archie Supersonic is the most powerful Sonic in the franchise when it comes to feats. What I'm saying is, if Archie Supersonic is the greatest transformation, what about a Hyper version? Does a Hyper Archie Sonic even exist? The answer is, sort of. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to introduce you to Sonic's true greatest transformation, Ultrasonic. I'm sure many people would look at Ultrasonic's design and say, how is this the most powerful form? He just looks like Base Sonic with some stars and rings around him. But don't be deceived, he's a lot more powerful than he puts on. Isn't it a coincidence that Goku from Dragon Ball Super has a form that looks like his base form, but is actually more powerful? His transformation is called Ultra Instinct, just like how Sonic's transformation is called Ultrasonic.
Coincidence? I think not!
But back to Ultrasonic. What makes him so special? Why did I imply that he's partially hypersonic? In order to explain why, we're going to have to go through some Archie lore. To make things easier to understand, we'll start off with the second time Sonic has gone Ultra. In one of the arcs, Dr. Robotnik fired an energy beam from space, which the comic calls the Time Beam. Now, in an earlier issue, Dr. Robotnik activated a weapon called the Ultimate Annihilator on Nahul, and it caused Nahul to be in its own time zone, 3 hours ahead of the rest of the world's time. This time beam was making their time go back to normal, but if it kept on going in the direction of Nahul, it would clash, destroying not only the planet, but the entire space-time continuum. So basically, the universe would be destroyed. The only way to redirect this beam would be for it to be attracted to a powerful and time-warping source. This was achieved through the use of a Super Emerald. Sounds familiar, right? There are also Super Emeralds in the games which allows Sonic to turn to Hypersonic. In order to stop this beam from hitting, Sonic strapped the Super Emerald on his back and ran super fast across the planet. While he's running, he's getting more energized due to the Super Emerald strapped to him. This causes him to turn into Supersonic. So it took literally one Super Emerald to transform Archie Sonic to Supersonic, but it does not stop there. As he continues running, he moves so fast that the entire planet begins to move forward in time, causing the beam to attract to him. This is pretty similar to what Superman did in the 1978 Superman movie, reversing time with his speed. The Archie Sonic comics tend to take a lot of inspiration from DC and Marvel. While this is happening, the Super Emerald transforms him even further, making him turn to Ultrasonic. So, what does this mean? It means that Ultrasonic is an Ascended Supersonic, just like Hypersonic from the games is an Ascended Supersonic. This means that he has all the abilities of Supersonic and more. But I'm sure some people would still doubt this, saying that the transformation with the Super Emerald only happened once. I'll agree that this is true. All other occasions with Ultrasonic were through the use of rings. But it doesn't change the fact that it's a form only achievable through this power of the Super Emerald. And here's why. If I asked some casual Sonic fans what rings are, they would most likely say they're Sonic's life. They would say he needs them to protect him from damage. They may also say that rings are a form of currency in the Sonic universe. Well, this is true for the video games, but outside of the games, those are actually some pretty rare characteristics. Believe it or not, most Sonic media have rings presented as an ultimate power source. This is how they're portrayed in the 1993 Sonic the Hedgehog cartoon, where people can retrieve a power ring from the Lake of Rings. These rings enhance Sonic's abilities, notably his spin dash. The Archie Sonic comics are based on the Sonic Side AM show, so they took this concept and expanded it. Rings being a power source isn't exclusive to the American series though. In the UK Sonic the comic, power rings were prominent as well, letting Sonic absorb them to boost his energy. Also in Japan, where Sonic was created, we got Sonic X, where rings are used to increase Sonic's power and allow him to become a supercharged spinball, similar to Sonic Side AM. The more rings that Sonic from Sonic X had, the more powerful he became. And this also applied to Sonic in the Archie Sonic series, where absorbing thousands of rings made him become so powerful that he would gain a new transformation. This transformation happens to be Ultra Sonic itself. The first appearance of Ultra Sonic was in Sonic the Hedgehog issue 66. A villain named Ixis Naugus raided a laboratory filled with power rings. By absorbing all these rings, he would get his own Ultra transformation, and it would allow him to merge the Zone of Silence with the main universe. The Zone of Silence is a dimension where Naugus' magical abilities can be enhanced, making him powerful enough to take over the universe. Sonic and Tails tried to stop him, and they did so by absorbing the power rings themselves, transforming them into Ultra Sonic and Hyper Tails. Notice that Tails' name is Hyper Tails, similar to Hypersonic, the same form that you would get in the games if you got power from the Super Emeralds. Meanwhile, Sonic was called Ultra Sonic, which means that it's safe to assume that both forms are similar in power. In this form, Sonic can manipulate atoms at a molecular level, allowing him to ignite a variety of different elements. He also has the power to open dimensions and banish people into them, similar to what Naugus wanted to do. If you guys are still doubting that Ultra Sonic is a more powerful Super Sonic, this should solidify it for you. You're probably thinking that rings shouldn't be all that special, right? Especially when compared to the Chaos Emeralds or Super Emeralds. But trust me, these rings are more powerful than they seem. In the Archie Sonic comics, all power rings are created by a scientist named Nate Morgan. It was Nate's laboratory that Naugus broke into to get all those rings. One thing that many people don't know is that each individual ring has near unlimited energy. Pretty crazy, right? Chaos Emeralds also have unlimited power. But how can a man manufacture a ring to have limitless power? There has to be a source for that power, right? Well, there is a source. And guess what that source is? A Super Emerald. That's right, Nate Morgan found a Super Emerald and used its power to forge all power rings. You know what this means, right? Ultra Sonic is activated by a crap ton of power rings. Power rings are created from a Super Emerald. Sonic can also transform into Ultra Sonic with a Super Emerald alone. A Super Emerald is more powerful than a Chaos Emerald. So there you have it. Ultra Sonic is a product of the Super Emerald, meaning Ultra Sonic is the most powerful transformation. To conclude, I want us to take a step back and really process this. The 7 Chaos Emeralds allow Archie Sonic to transform into Super Sonic. This transformation allows him to do incredible feats, one of these feats being rewriting an entire multiverse filled with infinite universes. But with the power of only one Super Emerald, Sonic can not only turn into Super Sonic, he can ascend even higher, turning him into Ultra Sonic. Keyword 1. 1 Super Emerald. With 7 Super Emeralds, Game Sonic can turn into Hypersonic, the most powerful Sonic transformation in the games. If 1 Super Emerald can transform Archie Sonic into Ultra Sonic, what would happen if we got all 7 Super Emeralds? Can you even fathom how incredible an Archie Hypersonic would be if that happened? He would be unstoppable. And that's why I say that Ultra Sonic is Sonic's greatest transformation, and it's just 1/7 of his true power. This video was just a taste of how expansive the world of Archie Sonic is. People like to hate on it from time to time, but we gotta give respect to where it's due. It's not only the longest Sonic comic, it's the longest running video game comic of all time. That means that there are hundreds of stories that are just sitting there with no one covering it. But that's why I'm here. If you guys have any more Archie Sonic topics that you want me to discuss, let me know in the comment section down below. Heck, if you want me to talk about other Sonic power scaling topics, let me know. But until then, be cool, be wild, and be groovy.